Okay. Okay, is this thing on? Okay, here we go. This is my first audio log. And before I get into it, I guess I should probably start off with why I'm even making this, huh? I was at this local antique shop and I saw this weird little rectangular thing. Abbott, the store owner, told me that this thing was used to record voices of people, either as reminders of what to buy at the grocery store or reporters getting the hottest scoop on a news story. The one that I picked up and that started my love for these things wasn't something as lame as a grocery store list, but it was actually an audio diary of a man named Raymond, and his smooth voice depicted his mundane day-to-day events like work or household chores, all the way to him finding his first love and then eventually marrying her, having a child, and then all the way to the point where he was drafted into the army. But sadly, that's where they stopped. I guess he couldn't find the recorder after he got back. Hopefully he got back. But from his first log, I fell in love. It felt like I was really there while he was just mowing the lawn or just taking out the garbage. And the way he depicted his love's face, oh my god, it was just amazing. And I knew that I had to do this. I had to create my own. So here we are. And it seems like we're not even off to a good start. I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Zelen, and I'm 22 years old. I work as a busboy at a local brew house, and the year right now is 2058, August 29th. And currently, I'm sitting in my apartment. I just got done grocery shopping, but I didn't get anything too crazy this time. I got some Fruity Rocks and some rice, mostly because I'm broke and I live off of cheap noodles and cereal. But yeah, being a busboy doesn't pay too well these days. That's about it. Nothing too exciting on this first log. I mean, I guess you can count the fact that I haven't seen my brother in a few days. That can be kind of exciting. We share the apartment together, but I hardly even see him here. He's probably off trying to find more evidence for whatever conspiracy that he's on now. He does that a lot, actually. Like, I'll see him one night and then poof, he's gone the next morning. The dude's pretty nuts, but he's my brother, so what else can you do about it? That's about it. So, I guess I'll see you tomorrow, right? This is day number 2 of my audio logs. Simon stopped by the brew house today. This clown comes running inside, eyes wide and out of breath, almost knocking down every customer in his path until he got to the table I was bussing. The reason he was so out of breath was because he just saw Scarlett in school today and finally got up enough courage to actually go and talk to her, so he said. Me and him have been friends ever since I can remember, and throughout that time, I've always found 2 things to remain true. 1, we always have a crush on the same girl, no matter who it is. And 2, we both never learned how to talk to him. So this was a major break for him, especially because it was Scarlett. I mean, this girl is gorgeous. She's tall, she's got this beautiful tan, her eyes are this gorgeous amber. She's more developed than most of the girls that you see. But not only does she have the beauty, she's got the brains behind it too. Like a full package deal. Future kids. If I have future kids and you're snooping around the house and you ended up finding this, don't tell your mom what I said about Scarlett. Unless Scarlett is your mom. And then in that case, oh yeah, go future me. Sorry, Simon. So anyway, once he caught his breath, he told me what went down. He was on his way to class and saw her talking to a group of her friends. He tried just walking past them, but he was probably gawking at them the entire time, not even knowing it, when Scarlett flagged him down. Dumbfounded, he walked over and saw that there was a new girl in the group. She was obviously lost and didn't know where her class was, so Scarlett vouched for him, saying that Simon would be able to take her to her class, and that was honestly it. The dude didn't even talk to her. He was talked about by her, but that doesn't count for anything. But he kept on going on and on and on about how it was destiny and fate, and out of all the other guys that were passing by, she picked him out of the crowd, probably because he was staring at her like a creep. But that's Simon for you. He's been the same ever since I can remember. I don't think the guy is ever gonna change. That was all that happened today. After that, I went back to work, finished up my shift, and then headed back to the apartment. My brother still isn't home though. Hopefully he comes back, and hopefully I do something exciting so these logs won't be so boring. But that's it. That's the end of day 2. Day number 3 of my audio logs. So, my brother finally came home today. He was in one of his moods though. He'll get so focused on whatever it is that's in his head that the rest of the world will cease to exist until whatever it is accomplished. That type of personality will be great if you put it towards something like getting a stable job or rent. But most of the time it's looking for evidence for some of his theories. He walked into the apartment, completely ignored me, and kept muttering something, but I wasn't able to hear what it was. Then he disappeared into his room. I had to find out what was going on. So I went in to talk to him to see what was up, but he didn't even notice me come in. He was tearing through his closet looking for something, still muttering the entire time. I tapped his shoulder and he snapped his head over in my direction. His eyes, they couldn't focus. They searched the entire room trying to find something that wasn't there. I could hear what he was saying now. It's not real. 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 What's not real? I tried to ask him this, but it wasn't any use. He just went back to looking into his closet. He pulled out an old briefcase. It was dusty and worn out. The leather on the corners was faded and it had multiple holes in it. But I recognized it. I couldn't place where I knew it, but I knew that I knew it. He tossed the case onto his bed. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. It all fits. It all fits. It's not real. Not real. It's not real. I was scared at this point. He had never gotten this bad, not even close to it. I gripped his shoulders and I forced him to look at me. What's not real? But he stared back at me like a panicked animal. His eyes were wide and frantic. He was covered in sweat, but he was cold to the touch. It's not real. Not real. Not real. It's not real. Is he real? Is he real? I could tell he was talking about me. Of course I'm real. I'm right here. Not real. Not real. Not real. What's real? What's real? What's real? Must know. Must know. Have to find out. Have to find out. Is he real? Must find out. Need answers. Need answers. He pushed me off of him hard. I went flying back into the wall behind. He reached into his pocket of his coat and pulled out a strange gray rectangular object. I soon recognized that it was a tape recorder, like the one Raymond used to record his diaries. And then that's when it clicked. I remember where I had saw that case before. It was in Abbott's shop, but it was on the bridge on the 2nd floor, the part where Abbott says that no one is allowed to go. He says that the antiques up there are personal and that he will never allow anyone up there. So how did my brother get it? He opened the case, and inside there were dozens more of recorders. He tossed the one that he had into his hand, and he pushed him off to the side and pulled out a piece of paper that was tucked underneath him. Once the paper was in his hand, he walked out. I thought he was just going to leave again, but before he walked all the way out of the apartment, he turned around. and he stared at me. He was so focused it sent chills down my spine.
The tapes. Listen to the tapes. Understand. Find answers.
Understand. Listen to the tapes.